I'm Dr. Kristen R. Bromley. This video series, which is part of my online music academy, specifically accompanies Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 from my Method Book series. Like all my books, this selection is available to purchase through Amazon and Google Play. For help, see the links in the description below. In the videos which are part of this specific course, I progress through the lessons in Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2, explaining and demonstrating concepts and playing each of the songs and exercises contained therein, so you can hear how they sound and play them right along with me. You are of course welcome to view these videos with or without the book, but with the book you can work through all the songs and exercises, and in the process learn all the various types of chords used to play music on the guitar and master your chord playing abilities. Alright, let's get to jamming in this lesson. Hi there, welcome back. It's great to have you joining me here. We're in lesson 28. So in this lesson, we're going to build on the concepts we learned about in the last couple of lessons with augmented fifths and diminished fifths, and we're going to apply that to seventh chords. Now it's a little different here in that we can add the augmented or sharp 5 or the diminished or flat 5 to any major or minor chord. And when we were doing it before, in lesson 26, for example, we were looking specifically at what are known as augmented chords. So major triad with that sharp 5 makes it an augmented triad. So major thirds stacked on top of each other. Or diminished, where we had the minor thirds stacked on top of each other. It's like a minor chord with the flatted fifth creates a diminished triad. Then we learned about in the last lesson, lesson 27, about diminished seventh chords, fully diminished seventh chords, which have a diminished triad plus another minor third on top, which is the diminished seventh, or a double flatted seventh, same pitch as the sixth. And we get that fully diminished seventh chord. So in this lesson, we're going to be talking about adding sharp 5, the sharp 5 or the flat 5, so an augmented fifth or a diminished fifth to any seventh chord. Some of these are more common than others, just kind of depends. Let's look at the theory first. So with major seventh chords, we could add a sharp 5 or a flat 5. So with the sharp 5, major 7 chord with a flat 5 or a sharp 5. Or we can add the flatted fifth. So we get this flatted fifth. Now what's interesting is the actual pitch of a flat 5 the flat 5 is the same note as the sharp 11. And since on guitar they're going to be on the same string, they're going to be the same place depending on what voicing we're playing. It's going to be the same voicing as our sharp 11 voicings. The sharp 5 will actually be the same as our flat 13. We haven't learned about flat 13 chords yet. We're going to learn about those in lesson 29. But learning them here will prepare us to play flat 13 chords. So we have a major 7th chord with a sharp 5 or a major 7th chord with a flat 5. They don't happen very often, but occasionally we do see them. The chord symbols are going to be the same up into the 7th level. So like C triangle 7, C uppercase M 7, C maj 7, Maj 7, something like that. And then we're going to see sharp 5 or plus 5 for an augmented fifth. Flat 5 or minus 5 will be shown to throw that flat 5 in. And you can see those various examples of those chord symbols there on page 181 in the book. Okay, so with our dominant 7th chords, it's the same principle. We can add the sharp 5 or the flat 5. We're going to have the root, the 3, the sharp 5 or flat 5, and then the flatted 7th. So our root 3 sharp 5 flat 7 sound creates a sharp 5 dominant 7th to sharp 5, and our flat 5 root 3 flat 5 flat 7. We get this flat 5 sound, and again this would be the same as the dominant 7th with a sharp 11 for us, or the sharp 5 will be the same as the flat 13, which we'll learn about in the next lesson. The chord symbols, we're going to have the root and the 7, just like our normal C7, and then a sharp 5 or a plus 5, flat 5 or a minus 5 for the flatted 5th. So that's those ones, and you can see examples of those chord symbols on page 182. Alright, so now we're on to our minor major 7th chords with the sharp 5 or the flat 5. So you'd have the root, the flatted 3rd, and the natural 7th with either a sharp 5 or a flat 5. These ones are kind of less common. You don't see it except on maybe a more rare circumstance. The chord symbols are going to look the same. Minor major 7th chord, and then it's going to have that sharp 5 or plus 5 for the augmented 5th, and then the flat 5 or the minus 5 for the diminished 5th. So these ones kind of sound like we get the root, the flat 3rd, the sharp 5, and then the major 7th. Kind of an interesting sound we're going to get here for that minor major 7th with a sharp 5. Now with the flatted 5, we get that flatted 3, flatted 5, natural 7. This one kind of like a sharp 11 sound. It's kind of interesting with the way that one rings out. So that's on our minor major 7th sound. Now, ones that are extremely common are minor 7th chord with altered 5ths, especially the minor 7 with the flatted 5th. But let's look at the sharp 5 first. So with both of these, I should say, we have a root, a flatted 3rd, and a flatted 7th. And then with the 5th being altered, we can have that sharp 5 or the flat 5. So with the sharp 5, we get the root, the flat 3, the sharp 5, and then the flatted 7th. So this chord shows up from time to time in jazz music in particular. The sharp 5 could also be written as a flat 13, as we'll learn about later on. And then the minor 7 flat 5, this is the one that's known as half diminished. So this one has the root, the flatted 3rd, the flatted 5th, and the flatted 7th. So when we take our minor triad and make it diminished by adding the diminished 5th, and then we add 7ths onto it, if we add the flatted 7th, we get what's called half diminished, because when we add the diminished 7th, you have both of those are diminished, and that stacks in with the full minor 3rds on top of each other. And so that would be that fully diminished 7th. The minor 7 flat 5 is half diminished. And so as a chord symbol, you might see it written minor 7 flat 5, but you could also see it written as the diminished 7th with a slash through it, telling us it's only half diminished, meaning it just has the minor 7th instead of the fully diminished 7th, the double flatted 7th, in addition to being a diminished triad. So there's that one, and there's plenty of chord symbols that you can see with those on page 182 for this one, for the minor 7th, and you can see examples on page 183 for the minor major 7th. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is go ahead and start playing some of these voicings, and we'll do that now. Okay, so here we are on page 183. This is where the references for our different chord types are at. We're going to work through these, and we're going to be playing the exercises. The first exercise, starting on page 184, is going around the circle of fourths, and I've just written it here so that we can go around the circle of fourths with each of these chord types together. And if you don't want to flip pages back and forth but want to stay on the reference page, then you can just stay here and have the circle of fourths written on the board for you. So as a review, it's really easy to go around the circle of fourths because of the way the guitar is tuned, so kind of keeping our chord shapes between frets 3-ish and 10-ish, and we can play them all. So we'll just go ahead and jump in. The first one we're going to look at is the major 7th chord with the flatted 5th. So this is the same voicing as when we were playing the major 7th with the sharp 11. So there's our 6th string form. We just take our major chord, what would be the 5th, needs to go down, and we've got it there. On the 5th string form, we got to take what would be our major 7th, our 5th is here with our ring finger, and bring it down, so just like so. This should be familiar from from our sharp 11 days. So we'll go ahead and go around. I'm going to pinch most of these chords. Even the ones that offer 5-string forms, I'm just going to take the inside 4 strings and do some pinching. I haven't done that for a couple lessons. You can strum if you'd like to. You can do it however you'd like to. We'll just go ahead and go do that, and we'll do it twice per chord. 1, 2, ready. We got the C major 7 flat 5, then to the F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and C. Alright, now let's do it once per chord. So as written, one chord per measure. 1, 2, ready, and C to the F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and C. For some of you, these chords may just be a little bit too tense. For me, they sound kind of modern. We could say sounds that have been explored with in more recent years. Kind of pretty. Okay, so the dominant 7th with the flatted 5th then. So we've got this is just like our dominant 7th with the sharp 11, so it should be familiar. Same thing, but we've got what we normally have here with our 5th, goes down by a fret, and we got the flatted 7th, 3rd, and that flat 5 or sharp 11. On the 5th string form, we're taking what would be our dominant 7th chord and flatting that 5th, which is with our ring finger, comes down a fret. Let's play through this one twice per chord. So do dot. 1, 2, ready, and the C7 flat 5, F7 flat 5, the B flat, to the E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, C. Alright, let's do it once per measure, 1 chord per measure. 1, 2, ready, and we got the C to the F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and C. Okay, now on to the minor major 7th with the flatted 5th. So we've got kind of from what we were just doing off the 6th string form. All we got to do is flip what fingers are on what, and we'll switch from minor and our minor 7th to a major 7th. From kind of a nice modern modern sound. And then off the 5th string form, it's pretty easy actually, because if you were playing F major, all you got to do is bring your ring finger down, it becomes a little bar. So we'd have our minor major 7th, our pinky's playing the 5th, it needs to come over, it just becomes a little bit of a bar. So going back and forth to the 6th string form might be a little trickier to catch, but to that 5th string form it's pretty easy. Just like so. Okay, let's go through the circle of fourths. We'll do our comping rhythm twice per chord, so 2 majors per chord. So we got a 1, 2, ready, and we get the C minor major 7th with that flatted 5th to the F, to the B flat, to the E flat, to the A flat, to the D flat, to the G flat, to the B, to the E, to the A, to the D, to the G, to the C. Guys, some fun tension there. Alright, let's do it once per chord. One time through on this, one measure per chord. 1, 2, ready, and we got the C to the F, to the B flat, to the E flat, to the A flat, to the D flat, the G flat, the B, the E, the A, the D, the G, and the C. Okay, let's take a look at our last one then with the flatted 5th, the minor 7 flat 5. This one is extremely common, especially in minor keys. So we're taking our minor 7th chord, we got to flat the 5th, so it's going to feel familiar from our dominant 7th. All we got to do is slide our pinky over, but in some positions up high it gets a little tight sometimes. Trying to get these 2 fingers into the same fret along with that one, and then the index finger tucking in under there. But there's our minor 7 flat 5 there. And then on the next form, you can sometimes I will bar it, as is indicated there on page 183, but a lot of times I'll also just grab it with the 4 fingers. So it kind of just depends. This is the one that is half diminished. So the minor 7 flat 5 versus the fully diminished 7th, or the half diminished versus fully diminished. And over in this other form, half diminished versus fully diminished, just changes our 7th, flatted 7th down to the 6th, or the double flatted 7th, and that's where we get that. So our minor 7th chord with that flatted 5th versus the flatted 7th versus the diminished 7th. Alright, so let's go ahead and play through this one. We'll start by doing it twice per chord with our comping rhythm. So 2 measures per chord. 1, 2, ready, and C minor 7 flat 5, F minor 7 flat 5. I could say B flat half diminished, to the E flat half diminished. You got the A flat, you got the D flat, you got the G flat, you got the B, you got the E, you got the A, you got the D, you got the G, we got the C. 1 time per chord. A 1, 2, ready, and we got the C to the F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and C. All right. So now let's take a look at these sharp 5s. So this will be kind of fun. First with the major 7 sharp 5. So we have our major 7, that sharp 5 is in the same fret. So this one, interestingly enough, if we were playing the F minor 7 flat 5, or minor major 7th flat 5, it would be that same 3 notes with our ring finger, but the C, put it over the C instead, and we're getting that C major 7 with a sharp 5. So this chord shows up from time to time. Now the 5th string form is a little less friendly because we need our ring finger to go up a fret to make it a sharp 5. So we're using all 4 fingers here, and when you're first playing this one, it can be a little bit of a stretch. And they're all in a different fret. It takes some coordination to get those to stay and grab where we want them to grab. Alright, so we'll go through and do this one twice per chord. 1, 2, ready, and starting with that C major 7 with the sharp 5. Then we're going to F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and back to C. Kind of an interesting, highly tense modern sound. Okay, let's do it 1 time per chord. So we got 1, 2, ready, and we got the C major 7 sharp 5, F major 7 sharp 5, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and C. Alrighty. Now on to the dominant 7th with the sharp 5. So this one's pretty easy as well. We got our 2 fingers with index and middle in the same fret with the root and the flatted 7th, and then the 3rd and the sharp 5 are in the same fret. So that becomes an easy one to do on the 6th string, but the 5th string form is a little bit trickier. It's actually the exact same thing as the major, only we pull our middle finger off. And you also have to bar. So that's a little bit of a grab as well. But the dominant 7th, not so bad. And then you grab this one. Alright, 2 times per chord. We got 1, 2, ready, and C7 sharp 5 to the F7 sharp 5, B flat 7 sharp 5, E flat 7 sharp 5, A flat 7 sharp 5, D flat 7 sharp 5 to the G flat 7 sharp 5, B7 sharp 5, E E7 sharp 5, A7 sharp 5, D7 sharp 5, G7 sharp 5, and C7 sharp 5. Alrighty, let's do it one time per chord. 1, 2, ready, and C7 sharp 5 to the F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and C. All right. Now let's look at the minor major sevenths with the sharp 5. So this one's really not all that hard to finger. Off the 6th string, it's kind of like the 5th string form half diminished. It's the exact same, only we're changing the root. How interesting again that all we do is change the root and we've changed to a completely different type of chord. So our minor major 7th with a sharp 5, C minor major 7th with a sharp 5 will be the same chord, except for the root, of course, that is, so it's a different chord. But as the F minor 7 flat 5, we're just changing where our root is. Makes it into a minor major 7 with the sharp 5. Then off the 5th string, this one is a little bit of a trick because we're playing what would be our minor major 7th, our pinky needs to go 1 fret higher. So that might be a little bit of a grab that's a little less comfortable for you to get to. So let's go ahead and toss this around the circle of force. We'll do it twice per chord. So we're going to start with that C minor major 7 with a sharp 5. So you got 1, 2, ready, and we got the C. Then we got the F. We got the B flat. We got the E flat. We got the A flat. We got the D flat. We got the G flat. We got the B. We got the E. We got the A. We got the D. We got the G. And then we got the C. A little trick that may or may not help you with this, as you're switching between these, is how our middle finger can stay on the same string. So when we go from the C to the F, the middle finger just has to slide over 1 fret, and then the others find their place. So again, it just slides over, which can help you find it. And then even, I think, more useful is when we're going to the next one, it stays on that same string, and we add the other 2 fingers in. And that can be really beneficial to know that, oh, I can just slide my middle finger, kind of maintains on that same string. That may or may not help you, but I wanted to point that out as a trick. Sometimes it can help to find common fingers. Now, it'd be rare in a song for us to go by 4th with this chord. This would be a chord that isn't going to show up and then just continue perpetually around. But it's still a great way to practice it and get used to it. Alright, so let's do it 1 chord per bar now. 1, 2, ready. We've got the C to the F to the B flat to the E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, Alright, so let's look at the minor 7th with the sharp 5 now. So for the 6-string form, I just play my normal minor 7th chord, and then I add the pinky there to create that sharp 5. Easy as that. With the 5th string form, you have it written out as a possibility to play in a strummed fashion with all 5 strings. You actually have that written for the dominant 7th with the sharp 5 too. I usually only play the inside 4 strings and do the pinch, and with that I'm just going to play it like so. If I was strumming it, then I would just need to mute that top string. And so that's how I'm going to play it. You can play it whichever way you prefer. But it's written out there kind of to show you all 5 strings in relation to that one. And I could do that with the dominant 7th as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and take that one through the circle of 4ths. So we'll do it twice per chord. So you got a 1, 2, ready, and the C minor 7 sharp 5, then the F minor 7 sharp 5, B flat minor 7 sharp 5. This is kind of a cool sound that does show up from time to time. Onto the A flat, and the D flat, to the G flat, to the B, to the E, to the A, to the D, to the G, to the C, and there we are. Alright, let's do it one time per chord. A 1, 2, ready, and we got the C, to the F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B, E, A, D, G, and then we end there on C. Okay, let's go ahead and flip on over to page 184 and we'll go through exercise number 2. With exercise number 2, we're going to be looking at doing these things in 2-5-1 progressions, where we see them in minor keys a lot. Okay, so here we are on page 184 with number 2, jazz music progression V3. In this progression, we're going to be playing what are called 2-5-1 progressions in minor keys. Back in our lesson on 7th chords, the very first lesson on 7th chords we had, where we learned our major 7th, minor 7th, dominant 7th, minor major 7th chords, we were playing with progressions that had 2-5-1s in them. 2-5-1 in a major key has the minor 7th chord to a dominant 7th chord to a 1 is a major 7th or a major 6th. Well, in the minor key, which is what we're doing here, we have a minor 7 flat 5 to some sort of altered dominant. Altered dominant means that that 5th is altered. It's either a sharp 5 or a flat 5. And sometimes we'll see chord progressions that have just the word alt, so you get to pick the alteration that you want to use. It can also mean sharp 9, flat 13. We're going to learn about that in the next lesson. But here we have written and specified that we want that G7 with the flat 5. And then we're going to the C minor 6. In a minor key, a minor 6th chord can be the 1 chord, a minor 7th, or a minor major 7th. With our progression here, it's going to alternate. So as we continue, we're going to have that 2, and this time the 5 is going to have the sharp 5, so F7 with a sharp 5, and this time we're also going to go to the minor major 7th. So we get to practice with both a little bit. Alright, we'll go through this. These chords are new. We're just going to use our doodah. And I'm again continuing to pinch. You're welcome to strum if you'd rather. So here we go. A 1, 2, ready, and... to go higher. Get higher. All right. Had that extra little 4 bars there at the end, which we hadn't done that sort of thing before. Circling it back around to the key of C with both of them in there. Kind of fun. Alright, so if you're struggling to switch back and forth on each 2-5-1 between the flat 5 and the sharp 5, that's okay. It's a bit tricky, especially if I try and say them at the same time as I'm trying to do everything. But you can go around the whole thing, maintaining with the minor 6 and the flat 5, and then switch it up and do the minor 7 flat 5 to the sharp 5. So the one that has the sharp 5 to the minor major 7th, and then do the next one that same way. And then do it as written, where you switch back and forth if you need to, or you can just practice the 2-5-1s over and over. It's great to practice things in 2-5-1s because we see 2-5-1 progressions so often in music. We also see things that are cycling around the circle of 4. So that's why these exercises like this are here on this first page, because music has it. And so we're going to go on though and do page 185. We're going to start seeing some of these in different contexts, and we'll just go through and play them. As I've done in the past, I'll probably just play each one once, but you are welcome to go through and play it multiple times if you'd like to, until you get it down. Okay, so number 3, we've got the G major 7 with the sharp 5 to a C major 7 with the sharp 5. So as you might recall, that major 7 with the sharp 5, we're taking what we have on the 2nd string up 1 fret. With the C major 7 sharp 5, we're taking what would be with our ring finger goes 1 fret higher, so we have to reposition those. And then we were just playing the D7 with the sharp 5, so we should be okay there, as well as the D7 with the flat 5. On that second line, we're also going to have the major 7s with the flat 5. So we're a little more used to this one maybe, because it's our major 7 sharp 11. The difference though is that we're reading the chord symbol differently, and sometimes we change up the chord symbol and suddenly we're a little lost as to what we're doing. Okay, with this one we'll go do dot dot. So we'll have do dot do dot dot. Read the wrong line there. That's the second line. So you got a 1, 2, ready, and G major 7 sharp 5 to the C major 7 sharp 5, G, and then the D7 sharp 5, this time flat 5. Okay, let's look at number 4. We're going to play this one. We'll use the bossa nova pattern. This is kind of going to have kind of a typical minor sort of jazz progression that we might see or hear. It's got the minor 7 flat 5 in it, so we can see that chord written as a minor 7 flat 5, or we can see it written as a half diminished, as we've seen before. So here it's written as a minor 7 flat 5. So we're going to go with the bossa nova pattern. You're going to note that sometimes through these chord symbols that we're going to actually see ninths asked for, ninths, 13ths, that sort of thing. And so you can go ahead and play those. If it's overwhelming to play those on top of these new chords, you can always simplify it back to something else, getting rid of the ninth, getting rid of the 13th. All right, so here you go. 1, 2, ready. Well, and I should say, by that same token, we can throw ninths on. We don't always have to keep it to the simple minor 7th, but we can as well. So anyways, here we go. 1, 2, ready, and... Let's repeat, and D flat minor 7. Second ending. Okay, let's play that one a little bit faster. So you're going to go 1, 2, ready, and... ending, and repeat. Second ending. Alright, let's go on to number 5 now. This one's got a lot of this switching between minor major 7th and the altered 5th. Even though when we were learning it before, I recommended playing the minor major 7th as so. When going back and forth between the minor major 7th, if you can with your pinky just grab it, then you don't have to change your whole hand, which is kind of useful. And then the minor major 7th with that flat 5. So if we go back and forth just a few times there, or the other way, practicing that a little bit may help with this one. And then also we're going to have that same sort of thing with the D. So that all we do is take our pinky up, which isn't too bad, from the one and then to the other, and then we bring it down. Now if you could bring your pinky down, you could just do that too. And going back and forth, you might find that easy. The dominant 7ths, we're going to have practice going between the 2 or the flat. Some Sometimes the switch goes a little bit quicker, a little bit slower, depending on where we're at. And we'll just do that do dot for this one, just like so. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, and the A minor major 7. Now the sharp 5, back to the minor major, to the flat 5, to the A minor major 7th, sharp 5, flat 5 and back. Now up to the D minor, sharp the 5, back, flat the 5, regular, minor major, sharp that 5, and then regular, flat, and back to the regular. Now the dominants, E7, sharp 5, E7, flat 5, E7, sharp 5, E7, flat 5, E7, sharp 5, E7, flat 5, back to the A minor major 7. Alright, let's flip on over to page 186 and do number 6. Okay, so here we are on page 186 with number 6, Jazz Music Progression Z3. This one's going to allow us to practice a little bit with our 6 chords and also our fully diminished chords. So we're going to get those a little bit in here, which is kind of fun. And then we'll have spots where we have these dominant 7th chords with the altered 5ths. This is kind of a swing thing, so we're going to go ahead and do it with Freddie Green. So just strumming those 4 chord notes per bar. On this one, with the first and second ending, the first time I'm going to play it with the chords higher, and the second time I'm going to play it with the chords down a little bit lower. You could do the same, or whichever one you'd like, but it kind of gets you in two different places along the neck. So here you go. A 1, 2, ready, and D minor 7, D flat, first ending. G7 with that flatted 5th. Take the second ending. Went a little lower there, but that's alright. Alright, so let's move on to number 7 now. This one's in a minor key, to give us more opportunity to practice with these minor 2-5-1s. So the minor 7 flat 5 with some sort of altered dominant, plus the different options on the minor chord. The minor 6th, the minor 7th, or the minor major 7th. Let's do do dot dot for our plucking or strumming pattern. 1, 2, ready, and repeat. All right, let's go on to number 8 now. This one's going to give us a chance to practice mostly those major 7ths with the altered 5ths, but we'll also have a spot with the dominant 7ths as well, getting to practice between both of those. We'll just go a little do-dot. Here you go. A 1, 2, ready, and we get the A flat major 7 to the flat 5 again. D flat major to the flat 5, and again major 7th to the flat 5, this time sharp 5, and just like that. Alright, let's go on over to page 187 and we'll do number 9 now. This one's in 3/4 time. So just do 3 per bar. You can do the plucks or strum. Either way is totally fine. And it's just going to give us a good opportunity to practice some of these dominant 7ths that are altered right inside of progression that's so jazzy. So here we go. A 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. B flat majors. Repeat. Second ending. It's a pretty one. Alright, let's move on to number 10. We'll do this one with Freddie Green as well. It's in 4/4 time, so we'll have 4 beats per measure. It's got a lot of changes, so we'll take it kind of slow. Just like that. A 1, 2, ready, and... again. Second ending. And B flat minor to E flat 9. Now this one's super fun to do with kind of a 12/8 feel. Down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 that sort of thing. 1, 2, ready, and... repeat. Second ending. A minor, D9, C minor, That one kind of reminds me of those old detective murder mystery kind of shows. They use jazz and it's kind of fun. Alright, so that brings us to the end of this lesson. I hope you're having a great time playing guitar. I sure enjoy it. In the next lesson, lesson 29, we're going to be talking about alterations to the upper extensions. Sometimes they're actually even easier to finger than these ones with just the altered fifth. So we're going to talk about flat 13, flat 9, sharp 9, and even those in combination with altered fifths. Sharp 9, flat 9 in combination with the altered fifths. Other great sounds that we sometimes come across, mostly in jazz. So we'll see you next time. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For help with other guitar playing skills, check out more of my method books and the numerous lessons available as part of my online academy here on YouTube. You can find more information about me and my products at kristenbromley.com. Take care.